Hello everybody. This is the first live stream in a while, so I'm a little bit nervous about it. It's been a few weeks, to say the least. Anyway, I got to missing you guys and thought I would throw this up there and talk to you a while. And I'm more or less waiting on people to enter the room, so I'm talking to the people that would watch the YouTube archives more than anything at the moment. So merry meet and bright blessings to you. I hope that things have been going all right for you all. Rachel, Jarrett, it's good to see you. How are you doing? I hope everything has been going well. Myra, long time no see. And we have a few of my favorites already popping into the room to chit chat with me about nature and what we can use, what we can find out there in the wild and make a part of our spellworks. You're very welcome. It is great to be able to talk to you guys once more. Patricia, always a pleasure to see you and meet with you. And I love you guys. I've been missing you a great deal. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of health crap and things like that that have pulled me away from being able to do the things that I need to do, or being able to do the live stream. I really miss you guys too. I have been doing a little bit better. So good news for everybody. You know, I've been feeling a lot better. The shots have moderately kept the pain at bay. So I've been feeling pretty good. For Black and Boris, great to see you guys. Love talking to you. And I'm used to looking at the text box over here. So please, I'm not wonky and my eyes are not cross-eyed. If you see me looking over there, I'm reading the text and trying to keep up with what you guys are saying. And I'm trying to remember that the face of all of you are here that way. But yeah, it's been really good. The pain has been very low. And at some points, not at all in my shoulders. So the shots seem to be helping to a great degree. And I'm not sure I could say that it's worth $1,600 a shot, to tell you the truth. You know, Talon and Angie S. Love you guys, and I'm glad that I could see you here. That's what I was just telling them, Talon. The shot in the shoulder seems to be working at least 80 to 90%. So I've been feeling excellent lately. As far as everything else goes, I'm still working to get the strength back in my legs, but it is still a bit of an exercise. All in all, though, I can say that it's been pretty good the past couple of days, and I'm hoping that it's getting better. Working on it, and I'm doing a lot more of the natural stuff, eating a lot more of my veggies the way that any good kid should. You know, heaven forbid. It's up to Austin, the one that you guys know is the love of my life, to stay on my butt and make me do right by eating the right things. He keeps me out of the fast food and into the veggies. But Angie, it's been a while since I've been able to talk to you, girl. It is truly magnificent to see you. And all the rest of you, I certainly have missed you bunches. Now I'm waiting for Serafina, I'm waiting for Robert Yamanu, I'm waiting for Glenn, a few of our other family members here to pop in and say hi to us as well. But in the meanwhile, I guess we can get started. So how many of you have something that you can contribute to being able to walk out the door and pick from the wild? Angela Rainey, good to see you. Love and light, blessings. How many of you have something that you know that you can contribute by walking out your door and picking from the wild, just out of sympathetic magic, symbolism, Something that resonates with you within your spell work that you know would be good for a particular matter. I would like to first start off by saying that I can go out and I can pick a rose off my rose bush. And I planted a pink, hot pink rose bush because I can use the red in the rose to symbolize sexual love, and I can use the pink that's in it to symbolize true or pure love. More than anything, I like the rose petals for certain parts of it, and I like the heart of the rose or the unopened rose for blooming of love, bringing about, making something happen. Or two roses on one branch to symbolize two people coming together for a great purpose. It's good to see you, Witches Enchantment. Welcome to our room. Also, I'll go out and I'll find just a standard blade of grass where you have two blades of grass on one stalk. And that would be two coming together to become one. You can also braid certain vines, like I have a jasmine vine outside my doorway. And I'll go and I'll grab out my jasmine pieces, a couple of them, and I'll braid them together, which would be the growth of two people becoming one, intertwining their love, blossoming into life, and making it what it needs to be. This could also be used in bringing about money, new beginnings and fresh starts, growth within oneself. Hi Bob, how are you doing? It's good to see you. Jasmine is good for so many different things. I would like to say that it's really good for fertility of money and finances. It's good for fertility of bringing about a child. It's good for new beginnings, fresh starts, representations of new life. And I grow certain things in my yard purposely just for these reasons. I've planted an apple tree in my yard for when the apples actually start coming about, I can use the seeds. For if a client comes to me and wants to get pregnant, I can use those seeds to help with this. I have other fruit trees that have various resonances with me into making things happen. I also have hazelnut trees all out the front to help feed the animals and keep them out of the highway, as well as hazelnut is my favorite scent, and it can use in a lot of spell work practices. Yeah, it's been hot as hell here too, Talon. Yeah, I go outside and I work in my garden, but I have to run out, work, and come back in and cool off, run out and work. Like yesterday, whenever I was doing a lot of pruning from branches that were crossing and on my trees and all of that, just very hot. And I was planting a lot of my sproutlings from my fall garden into a big basket. Anyway, I have basil growing also, which is enchantment. I'm going to call you enchantments for right now because it's very easy and rolls off the tongue better. So I hope you'll know what I'm talking about when I address you as enchantments. I love basil also. It's good for cleansing. It is good for spicing up things within your life, making things happen. But what about in the typical wild, running and finding something off the ground? A pine cone for the guarding heart. If you know somebody that has a very guarding heart and you're wanting to peel that away, make them let go, lighten up. You can peel all of the little pricklies off of the pine cone while you're focusing on them lightening up, on them opening up in love. You can peel all those pricklies off, and you can use the heart of the pine cone whenever it's said and done in the actual work to bring about the love that they so desperately need, but they've been guarding against. So here is one of my favorite usages of things you find in the wild. Now let's talk about the pine needles. I'll go and get me a pine broom, asking for it from the gods and goddesses. If it isn't already laying on the ground and still fresh, I'll ask it from the god and goddess, and then I'll take it carefully, and then I'll use it to sweep over my green candles that are supposed to be for drawing money. Okay? Let's see. And so that is one of your good sweeping of the candles. You can also use the pine straws for sweeping the floor area where you're fixing to conduct your work for purification reasons. Remember, a lot of your pine and let's see, what am I trying to say? Your minty smells, they're good for cleansing and purification likewise. I live right next to common, but get most from my garden, mostly lavender. So you like to work with lavender a lot? Lavender is good for peace and tranquility. It's good for teas, for relaxation. It's good for bringing about love if used in regard to certain other herbs. It is a purification herb likewise. If you make it into a tea and you ingest it, it is good for internal cleansing. So that's a real good idea, Rachel, to do with the lavender. And Fee says, I love collecting pine cones from a community tree. Thank you for how to use these. The pine cone can actually be used in so many different ways. Like, if you get the pine cone and it's all dried out, it's used for the end of the year and to signify the death of the cycle so that the new can begin. And so prayers to your gods and goddesses, giving thanks for what you have and what's to come. Giving thanks for the fertility that's on the verge of happening because the pine cones are so full of seeds. Let's see. Likewise, you can use the seeds inside the pine cone to make a tea. Certain pine trees are known to be poisonous, so be very, very careful and check on each species. However, many people make pine tree tea, and it is very cleansing and it's very nutritious and healthy for you. Let's see. I have tons of pine trees outside my condo. I love pine trees. Likewise, you can use the dead pine needles, not living ones, because if you use living ones around your citric fruit trees and you put too many of them, it can kill your trees. However, if you use the ones that are already dead, then you can use it as a mulch around your fruit trees that are citric or need acidic ground to mulch, keep the grass from growing right there, as well as to acidify the soil. And that'll help you to get those fruit trees up and running. Your oranges, your lemons, your avocados, trees that are citric, that would need that, cherry trees. How about almond and clove and their oils? Oh, hell yeah, that's a good idea. Almond and clove. Clove is a well-known herb for peace and tranquility, for healing, for numbing pain, okay? Or for helping, if you want to use it in a spell work, for symbology, numbing yourself to heartbreak which is imminent, so you can use it there. Also, to promote love and friendship from the people that are around you. That is what cloves are real good for. And if you're using the oil, it's good for blotting a little behind each ear or putting in your bathway as either a sachet and run it under the water so that it will, you know, put its givings into your water. And when you go out into the public, it'll do these things that I'm actually talking about. Almond is a good natural nut. It's good for drawing nature friends, animals, animal spirits, and your fae spirits that would come around. It would be good for drawing fairies, dragons, gnomes, elves, etc. being at one with fairy and woodland creatures. So that would be what your almond would be good for. And it's good to promote peace and tranquility if you're steeping a bunch of the nuts in water, and you can also drink it for its nutrition afterward. Tooth pain as well for the cloves. Absolutely. How are you doing, Solitary? It's good to see you. I know you spoke earlier, but I was so hot in the conversation that I didn't get to stop and bid you hello yet. But yes, cloves are really good for toothache pain, as is certain other things that you can find. But cloves is known to be one of the best. It is a damn good number. Also, if you put it in sachets along with lavender in, say, the underside of one of your children's pillows, say they have insomnia real bad, or you do, you can put the sachets of certain of these very herbs, your cloves, your chamomile, your lavender. Those work really well in the sachets to help you sleep good. So you're very welcome. It helps you very good in sleeping. Other things that would help you sleep: French vanilla. Now, French vanilla is actually a created scent, but vanilla is not. Vanilla is a drawer of love and passion and peace and tranquility likewise. Be careful when you're using things that promote peace and tranquility, especially if you're using them in conjunction with things to draw money, because it takes a certain amount of chaos in drawing money. And if you use things for peace and tranquility to do with business, it will make your business drop, sag. And so certain ideas can conflict very heavily with that which you want. So be very careful. Bay leaves are really good as a cleanser and a purifier, and for using wishes, or for making wishes according to Talon Wing Dancer. I've never actually heard that, but I don't disbelieve it. Bay leaves are known to be good at drawing money, or to be good for drawing different things that you hope for. And so it makes perfect sense in with what Talon is saying. Let's see. What can I use dry bay leaves for? Had some given to me. And that is what you can use them for. Well, they make a good tea if you know where they came from and you know that they're clean. They do work in spellworks for drawing money. They help to draw other things that you specifically want to name as a wish for Christmas or things of that nature. Use it along with myrrh and frankincense to promote giving, as well as, say, a power herb or oil such as patchouli or dragon's blood or High John the Conqueror root. You know, remember that you can use these herbs and oils for specifics that you want, but if you do not use a power herb to back them, they could be minimal. So I always use a high power herb within the things that I'm using these for, as well as other symbology. Like for money spells, I'll take a clippet of a $1 bill or a $20 bill or more, and I'll implement it into my spell work for money, or for implementation of hopes, dreams, or goals, things that are wanted. Let's see. You can write on the bay leaves. I've heard of that before also. Write the bay leaf in your spell and fire magic. Some people actually write with ink on the bay leaves. Let's see. Devil's Claw root. What can I use that for? Some people say that you can use Devil's Claw within spells to become more elusive or evasive to people when you're not wanting to talk to anybody and you want to go outside. For those recluses or introverts that don't want to actually talk to anybody at certain times, it makes you more invisible. Not literally like a lot of people like to take it, but it does make you invisible in a way. People just don't take notice of you so much. You can also use it in protection and hex works Some of that I don't ascribe to, but I don't judge people who do whatever it is that they do. I just protect my own assets to make sure that anybody that is casting, especially on me, isn't going to get through. And you can use bay leaves as well as devil's claws in protective works to prevent anyone from hexing you. Ylang ylang oil, I believe is what she is saying, in my bath last night as my ritual bath has stopped my itching. That sounds really good. Also, the oils from oatmeal on the skin, or oatmeal oils, and you can get those used in your bath, will help stop itching and will help reseed poison ivy. You can also get other herbs, like your mint herbs, if your skin isn't so sensitive, maybe diluted down a bit with some almond oil or sesame oil or whatever, rubbed onto the skin, could help get rid of certain itchy factors that might bother you. Not sesame oil, olive oil, sorry. But just a little bit of the oil and some of the extract. Kind of crush it into each other or whatever. But certain modes, and oatmeal itself, directly to the skin or in the bath, is said to dry things out. Potato rubbed all over the skin is also very good for getting rid of poison ivy, oak, and sumac. Let's see. Watch out for certain things within nature that are highly poisoned. Jerusalem artichoke, the nightshade families, poison hemlock. Let's see, belladonna, though you don't find it quite a bit, at least in this terrain. It was good being at one with you, enchantment. Come back and join us when you can. Let's see, is there use in magic for Hawaiian black salt? Well, they make it, so it has to be used for a reason. It is indeed for protection. And generally, you would put aspects of things that represent you onto a bed of black salt. And it would give the idea that people cannot cross over that with their spell works and actually harm you. You can use it in various other different things to draw what is wanted, your hopes, goals, and dreams. Let's see. I guess my company from Friday night decided to invade the weekend. I don't really mind. Give me someone to talk to. It's good to have friends and companionship. Get them to share with you some different ideas of things you could pick up in nature and use in your spell work that you can find just anywhere. Dandelion root is good for making teas. The leaves, the flowers, the whole kit and caboodle. And actually, I bought a shitload of dandelion seeds and I poured them all over my property because although many people view them as being a weed, I view them as being highly nutritious and will use them as an herb for my health. Let's see, I get it from an herb shop but found it interesting, so I grabbed it. Sometimes we really don't know why we draw to something, but that is part of being a collector as we are. We know or we feel that something is going to come up and we're going to get the chance to use it. You may have picked up that bag of devil's claw because you sense that you're heading into a place of trouble where somebody is staring at you with negative thoughts or ideas and you don't want it near you. So you might make you a little talisman that'll kind of shield you from those darker negative thoughts using the devil's claw. Along with, say, a powerful backing herb as patchouli, devil's shoestring, High John the Conqueror root, etc. And that's my big point here. If you find something and you know that it's rare for you to run across that particular thing, don't hesitate but to ask the god and goddess if you can have it first and foremost. Secondly, to collect it. Thirdly, to dry it out and prepare it for future use. And then you can you know, use, say, a dehumidifier to dry it out for yourself, or hang it over a heater far away or whatever. And I put my herbs into a paper bag and I toss them in the ice box, and then I forget them for a long period of time. And do you know that draws out all the moisture from those herbs? It creates you dried herbs. And I do that especially with lemon balm and lemon verbena all the time. Let's see, also my mint herbs likewise. Let's see, Felicia Black, welcome to our live stream. Amazing how we're drawn to things. We sure are. And rocks and stones are on the top of the line with that. Let's not just stick to herbs here. I mean, because the name of the show is actually finding resources out in the wild that we can use within our spell works and making them our own, knowing, premeditating that there could be a use for this, and nabbing that and making it a part of our own. Let's see. So, rocks. A black rock, they're hard to find unless they're asphalt or some crap like that, and you don't want that. You do not want that. So if you stumble up on a black rock, pick that sucker up. If you stumble up on a polished, rounded marble stone, and I mean real marble, not a marble, but a marble stone, or granite, or something that's hard to find, use that. And you can charge those stones, and you can use them for charging teas. You can drink dandelion as a tea. That's true, Patricia. You can find twigs on trees, which are one stalk that branches into two, and it represents a Y in your crossroad, and you can use it in a spell work to help finding your pathway, or two, becoming one, as in trying to make a love happen that is elusive, you know, whether it's for you or somebody that you're serving or helping. Rocks with holes, like hagstones, those are really good. Hematite type stones, things that are very hard to find, you know, things that are easy to find, just take note of them and you can go pick it up fresh whenever you need it, if you need it in the very near future. And if you don't, then maybe you didn't need to pick that up anyway. So be patient on some things, especially if you know that they're always out there, or that they're out there for the season. Also, note the season and think about what you could be gathering in the winter that's not so easy to gather in the summer, and vice versa. And if you find that you're heading into winter and there's things out there that are plentiful right now but won't be later, then you might want to ask the God and Goddess for it. Pick it up, dry it out, and store it. You know, make it a part of your future workings. Let's see, other things that we could find. Any ideas coming from you guys could be helpful. Small fruits. You know, I do love spell work with time variables, that where I might implement the spell work into the center of a fruit. And as this fruit dies, that spell work that I'm creating will feed off of it and nourish that spell work to make it happen by the time that fruit dies. And that is the implementation of words that I would put into that fruit spell. If I'm wanting something to happen really quickly, but everything has to take certain turns, you can rush it by using fruits that are destined to wilter and die, but will nourish and feed your spell work as it does. Mind you, you don't want to keep this in your house. You would also have to either bury the fruit or place it under your house somewhere, or somewhere farther away if you can, to where it can, you know, dilapidate without giving too much grief to the people that are living in the house. Knowing that, I was moving from Texas to Michigan. I picked a lot of sage from my friend's field. hell yeah. I mean, if you've got access to it and you won't later, then by all means, take that where you can. This can be hard living in a big city. I'm in New York City, yes, but there are parks and there are certain things in life. I mean, and as the wise ones, we have to know how to incorporate our magics into the today's world and how to work with the things that are about us. You know, like if you pass somebody's rock driveway and you see a stone there, you know, then if you feel that it's okay, if you get an idea or a vibration that it's all right, pick up that stone out of their driveway. You know, a bird feather in the park. I mean, it's out there. Just remember, you're in the big city, but likewise, that big city is in nature. And by all means, go out away from the city sometimes and catch a breather is by far the greatest advice I can give you there. Get out of the big city. Go to the country for a while. Go to the park. If there's no way you can do it because time is prohibiting right now, you know, but any chance you can get, go out to old grandma and grandpa's house or something, visit for a weekend and take some nature walks while you're there, you know. And if there's no grandpa and grandma within a place in the country, then, you know, go out somewhere, you know, near the river. Driftwood. You can find pieces of driftwood that are naturally sanded down already that you can make into your staff or into your wand, or little pieces that are shaped like certain things and just resonate in your mind's eye with you as something. You can use that for future reference in a spell work to do with that something. Okay, so very, very good pieces there. Let's see. Other ideas that you guys might have. Shells, absolutely, Omira. I have 4 shells within my trunk, and I use them as anointing dishes. I use them in representation of the womb and spells to do with people that want to get pregnant or may have feminine problems. I use them as sea salt, holy water dishes, or just to hold a certain few pinches of herb or whatever. Tortoise shells, where the turtle has already vacated it and given it up, those are good for libation dishes and things like that. Let's see. Bones that animals have left behind. As long as you honor that animal and make it a part of your protective spirit. Hey Glenn, good to see you. As long as you honor the animal, it's already vacated the parts that it leaves behind. It's quite alright if you use those on your altar without feeling guilty or bad. Other people will try to make you feel guilty or bad, but don't let that happen. Be at ease with yourself, and as long as you're at peace with that animal and you ask that animal spirit for that, then I'm sure it will give it, and you can use that. Happy Sunday, Tattooed. It is good to see you and be at one with you. Painted while taking a walk through a meadow at night and without my glasses on. Gaia is very generous when we treat her plants and animals like our own and with respect. Lovely to see you also, Glenn. I did really miss you guys a lot. I've had you in my mind. Actually, I thought about you yesterday, Glenn, whenever I was live streaming Rust, and you said something about actually liking that game. You know, but yes, I've been live streaming Rust, and I got a new one called Miscreated that I've been live streaming since yesterday, and so it's really good gaming. And yes, you guys, I do love gaming, and I have a Twitch channel that you could follow called Mystic Shadow 00. But yeah, it's good to see you guys. I've really missed you all, and I'm seeing a lot of you return, and I'm like, okay, well, they missed me also, and they missed each other, and so we really truly are a family. I wish Seraphina was here and Yamanu. That would make it really home to me. And even my beloved husband, Austin. Let's see. My kitty sheds her claws. Okay. And so this is a collective item. And hair put into baggies that they've given you. Those are good ideas. Let's say I collect them in a little jar in case my needs arise. What would you use those for? Maybe you would use the cat's claws to evade, say, a cat fight with some bitch that wants to get all up in your face or whatever. Maybe somebody that wants to start a physical battle with you. Or maybe somebody that's trying to cast black magic on you. Cat's claws, the physical manifestation of cat's claws, are a good protective ingredient for shielding you against bad magic. Better late than never. That's what I always say, Kuntz. Good to have you with us. So yes, cat's claws are good for avoiding cat fights and magical hexes, etc. I wasn't sure what to use them for, but thanks for the knowledge and wisdom. You're very welcome. When you look, and let me explain this to you all. This is probably the most important piece of information that I can give you in this whole show. All right. How many of you have heard of sympathetic magic? Like breeds like. When you use something to mean something because it looks like something. This is the most important thing that you can do. Use things that you look at or think of, and it just screams out this kind of crap to you. Be creative. I mean, that's who we're supposed to be anyway, right? We're supposed to be the creative and the wise ones. You know, and if we don't use our own imaginations, then we're truly lacking. And so we need to work with that. Yes, representative magics would be the same thing as sympathetic magic or symbolic magic. Like breeds like. That's a very, very important word of advice here. And most people are just too afraid. They're afraid that their magics won't work if they don't do exactly like everybody they ever saw do. And that's just entirely wrong. Use your imagination. Be creative. Be artistic. Work with it. Alchemize and calculate. Put things together to make your own. Cat whiskers, cat claws, cat hair, dog claws. All of it works. What would you use dog claws for? Dog claws or cat claws could also be used in magic that would draw your animal spirit, the proper animal spirit, to you. Even if you use cat claw and dog claw to draw your animal spirit and bring them to you, it can bring your animal spirit even if it is an owl, or even if it is an alligator, or a scorpion, or a centipede, or a panther, or a lion. Whatever your animal spirit is, any kind of claw that you would take from any kind of animal can be used in spell work to draw your animal to you, okay? I usually use all seances and feeling emanations, especially if it feels right. You definitely have to use your feelings. You have to use what is drawing you at the time. You have to use your inspiration. Okay, sometimes, even in real life, sometimes I'll even doubt myself whenever I'm wanting to live stream. I'll say, oh, what the hell am I going to talk about? You know what I mean? And then I'll say, okay, you know what, today I think the people will give me the idea of what I want to talk about. And they do. Or, you know, this something that has crossed my path was my muse. Use that and start a live stream. Usually, let's see, spirits. Using spirits to help acquire your goals as long as it's alright with the spirit. Definitely. Absolutely create your own paradigm The imagination is a real place in magic. And that's true. That is so true. The problem with adult magic today is that by the time we've reached adulthood, that we've been prohibited and halted and harnessed from our parents, bosses, people in the world that say that things are impossible, that it doesn't exist, etc. So much so that we don't exercise, we don't hold on to that imagination in our fairy world, our dreams, our fantasies, they go away from us. And so we don't actually do all that we could possibly do, and we don't use all that's at our fingertips when we could. And so we're completely dead stopped in some cases from doing anything. Let's see. Absolutely create your own paradigm. Yes, stronger too, because it comes to you naturally. Absolutely. I know almond oil would attract bees, so if you want to attract bees to your garden, because not only do things have to be used in spell work, but they could be used in health effects, as teas or in foods. They could be used around the garden to promote different things. Like you can use honey on the tips of cuttings in a garden. If you want to make a cutting, you can use honey on the tips of your cutting to promote growth as a growth hormone. You can use branch of the weeping willow and mash it up, add it to an extract of water, and then stick your cuttings down in that to make rootings grow faster, and so you can plant and make your own plants off of others. Let's see, so there's some very real uses for honey. And honey will also be used on the skin if you've hurt yourself as a astringent, a cleanser. Let's see, what else? You can make honey into beer, by the way, and as well as many other fruits. What else would you guys suggest? Do you have any other suggestions? Shells, hard shells of certain things in nature can be used as libation dishes also, like a coconut that's being cut in half, or is just has a hole drilled in it. You can put cuttings in it, and those cuttings will feed off of that coconut as it starts fermenting and dying out, and it'll grow roots. Let's see, beer, honey beer. Yep, they say that it is one of the amazings. Let's see, and even if you're not making things for your spell works, you can also be making things for your celebrations and festivities. How many of you have actually heard of cakes and ale? This is one thing that I've talked about very rarely within my videos, and usually in videos to do with festivities or meeting with other people within the pagan arena of things. I love honey beer. My favorite is Killian's Irish Honey. Sounds good, but never have tried it myself. I'm not really a beer person anyway. I'm more of a wine person, so I would be more of one that would actually ferment rice or ferment any of the natural fruits that you would find out there. I've been plagued with feathers lately. So have I. Anybody else out there? Oh my God. Yes, I have been sent feathers from turkeys. I've been sent feathers from, and I'm talking about people from the live streams that just like to bestow gifts on me, from prize chickens that are very rare, peacocks I haven't gotten yet, but from the vultures, a friend of mine sent me a really beautiful feather from a vulture. I hate beer, but I love honey. You could put honey on anything and I'd eat it. So you're a bit of a honey bear. Let's see, mead. Sounds good. But again, if it's a beer, I won't actually drink it. Not so much now. In the fall, they were everywhere I turned. Feathers, yeah, but no, they're all coming to me everywhere now. Mainly, people are sending them to me in the mail, and I always appreciate that because I use them in my works, especially to do with communications, as far as cleansings and purification and things of that nature. Freedom. Also, in death and return of things. For that which we take, do we ever give back? And life ending of certain things and then coming back. So feathers are really, really good when you find them. And different colors can be used for different things. If you find a brown one, it's really good for personal growth and nature. If you find one that's black, it's good for drawing power. And for Akasha, drawing spirits to your side or aid. White ones are good for purification and nature and childlike behaviors, new beginnings and fresh starts. And then you have many other different colored feathers. The peacock feather is especially good for knowledge, wisdom, education, and growth. Okay? And so bear that in mind. What else? Your red feathers would be good for getting rid of your own angers whenever you are bothered. Yellow feathers would be good for getting rid of jealousies or promoting joy and contentment. So it could work either way, good, positive, or negative. Red could work positive or negative. You know, I guess any of them can, but it depends on how you are looking at it whenever you're actually using it. All in all, feathers can be a really good find. And as I said, you know, certain leavings of animals that passed away can be used once the sun has bleached them and cleansed them really good. Noting exactly what it is that you would use it for. And a lot of bones could be used as scrying tools if you are studying scrying a lot. I apologize, I have nothing to add. But that's why you're here. You're here to learn, right? And that's why we love being at one with you. And that's good. I mean, you'll ask questions, and those questions, I mean, if you have questions, we'll fan our fires to talk to you about new things. But in the meanwhile, you're learning, you're taking it all in, and you'll have something that you can give to somebody down the road, not too far in the future. Let's see. Glenn says, let's see, this needs careful examination. Let's see, on what I should do. Hey, Indigo, how are you doing? Let's see. Hoarder, I see white owls daily at night during my walk. But a couple of weeks ago, I found a white owl feather. Amazing. But you have to be very careful. In certain states, certain things are illegal to keep. Make sure that you do a thorough examination of this and make sure that it's all right. If it is against the law, you don't want to be caught with it because it could be up to a $2,500 to $5,000 fine. Certain animals like that, or fowl, can be illegal to keep renderings. So just a note on that, to make sure you're very cautious. My grandchildren went to the zoo one Saturday and found a peacock feather. I love peacock feathers. They're just so amazing. If you look on the end of some peacock feathers, you'll find that there is the yin-yang symbol, which means the coming together of many different, or you and a different party, a balance within love and relationship can be given or used for friendship, and the feather being green as it is and as long as it is represents and signifies growth within oneself and educational pursuits. So it's good for so many different things there. Meditation asks for a clear message. I burn star anise seeds. My meditations come a lot clearer, I think, especially when I go to sleep. So yes, certain herbs that you find like that would be good for clarity. Also, by the way, we mentioned certain things to do with clove earlier. Clarity is one of them. There are other herbs that you can use for clarity, such as damiana, such as, let's see, lobelia, such as skullcap, but be careful, it could be toxic in high amounts. Let's see. But it's not a real high toxic herb. Let's see. Other things that you could find and use. Let's see. Hey Poland, how's it going, Majak? Majka? Majka? I'll call you Madge. Or Nick. I'll call you Nick. Welcome from Poland. Or welcome those from Poland. Let's see. Honey is good for jar spells. That's true. Yes, there, and I believe that that's an old Spanish tradition spell. Hi Drew, how's it going? People will take and they will cram a picture with certain engravings or etchings in pen on the back of them. And they will submerge the picture in a jar of honey to draw that person's influence closer to them. Also, when you're wanting to sweeten other good deals, like say if you're wanting to sweeten a money load, you may take a printout of say several $20 bills or whatever. You know, just a printout. Cut them out to where they look real, and you might put a symbol of power on the back of each one of them and anoint it with your favorite empowerment oil. And you might wad it up like a wad of money and put a rubber band around it and submerge it into the honey. And so this is old Hispanic tradition spell work that you can do, and they work very well. A $2 bill can be found in the city, as per finding in today's world different ingredients that exist. You can get two $2 bills. You can write a prayer on each one of them, put your favorite sigil on the back of it, and anoint it with an empowerment oil. You can put one of those $20 bills in a picture frame in your business if you have one, and the other one in your wallet, and it will help to replenish money. And it was an old Hispanic guy that taught me this one, and it worked ever since. I have the spell work still in my wallet and still on my wall, and have for over 17 years in this same business. Let's see, do you go to the bank now for $2 bills? Yes, you can go to the bank for these odd coins and trade them regular money for these. At least that's what I was told to do and did. Let's see, for the court they use it a lot in hoodoo as well. That is true. So these are some good ideas that you can use. Anybody have anything else they would like to offer outside of $2 bills or money? I feel that we've pretty much covered those. The bank is the only place I know to get $2 bills generally, but they will flood to you, you know, from other people once in a blue moon. I've had people pay me in $2 bills, you know, but it's a rare occurrence anymore, just like the wheat penny or the old true silver dollar $1 bills, etc., or bicentennials. You know, pretty nice and cool to have, can be used in spell works, but generally you would go to the banks to get those, the things that you need. Let's see, other things that you could find within the city. Do any of you have anything else that you can add to the conversation to do with what you would find in today's society, not so much the country, that you could pick up and you could use within spell work. One of them would be if you're doing a spell work to help somebody and they have a favorite pencil or whatever, if they're willing to render it to you, you can pick up their pencil and use that in a spell work for them. Of course, a lot of people will pick up these pencils and use it in a spell worked against one. Different weeds have different purposes, like the cactus. A lot of them also are good for use in your mundane task, like if you want to use a cattail's flowering end and pinch it apart, it makes tinder to start fires. You can use the root of it after you roast it to eat, and it makes a real sweet and tasty treat. And you can use the grasses for bringing in money. So that's only one example of what all different kinds of weeds can do for you. Nettles I actually use as a carrier herb in certain cigarettes that I roll with certain herbs inside of it for particular reasons. Let's see, thistle is good for drawing money. Dandelion is good for healing. Whether you take it internally or you're using it in a spell work as an ingredient to promote health. Let's see, I use $2 bill with $1 coins for making money. Oil for spell work, absolutely, because it has everybody's essence on it. It has a shitload of energy in it. Trust me. Money has a lot of energy in it because it's been passed from people to people to people. And so you can't beat it for the energy you could get from people around the world to make things happen for you. You know, so obviously a very good thing to work with for yourself. Let's see. Ash from an outside fire, used with salt, can be used to make your black salt. And in rust, no, I'm just kidding. Anyway, the black from charcoal, burnt things, can be used in salt to make black salt, along with various other scented oils for power. That would make your salt. You could also prick your finger and use a little bit of blood from your own finger, or a little bit of burnt hair from your head mixed in. Let's see. Won't rub my daughter for her frame. What? Thanks. I won't rob my daughter for her framed $2 bill. LOL. Now, you can get those from the banks pretty easily, Fee. I have to run. Sitting with the grandkids. Well, it was good to have you join us, Patricia. I really loved it. And we'll be killing the stream here in the next minute or two anyway. I'm starting to get famished and dizzy now. And we've covered a lot of territory. Let's see. Any ideas that anybody else would like to give regarding things? Oh, okay. Let's think a little outside of the box. There are people that actually cannot burn candle inside their house or incense because people gripe about it, bitch about it, or it may be against the rules by their landlords, etc. Well, you can find candles just like this, okay? And you can burn those, and they actually emit an energy of their own. The batteries inside them are actually creating the instance, and they put off a little bit of heat. You can take also hotter lamps and set them on the table and do so. One of the best things that I like to do at a time that I don't have a candle or don't have incense, then I'll take one of those little hot lamps that has the bowl on the top where you put chunks of the scented wax in it, and it doubles as your candle and your incense. And so that is a very good idea for those of you who do not burn candles or incense for whatever reason. And whether it's for asthma reasons or COPD or just because you're a kid and in your parents' house and are not allowed to, this is a good idea on how you can deal with that and remedy that situation. And I brought it up into other videos as well. And anyone else, if you feel like it will be meditating after this live stream, we could connect. or at least try. So, well, I don't know if you'd be able to after I shut down the live stream. Let's see, very old brick or stone dust, stem from buildings to represent the old and get rid of the old. Maybe if you want a new structure built or whatnot, that's a good idea. Let's see, meditating anyway. Got shit to sort out, LOL. But yeah, I mean, you may think of each other while you're meditating after the live stream and share a kind of an energy together. Boil water with herbs. What I like to do is I like to start my water to boiling, and then I'll let my water cool down a little bit to where it stops boiling. Because I don't like the action of the boiling in a lot of the spell works that I do. I'll let it stop boiling, and then I'll add the herbs after it stops boiling, and I'll just steep things. And I feel a lot better about that. I feel that it's zapping less, you know, and sending less of the ingredients out in the steam. I feel that it helps a lot better doing that way. You could likewise start certain waxes that you might use for spell works. Do be careful because wax can catch on fire if you're not using the proper equipment, and a double boiler is very, very good to have here. Let's see. But yeah, I mean, y'all can connect in and meditate together and send each other energy. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and kill the live stream. I've got to go eat. I was so glad to be able to throw up this live stream today. I like to connect in with all of you guys. Jennifer, you coming in right at the end, girl. Right whenever I'm shutting down the live stream. And I guess it's always better late than never. And you'll get to catch the video afterward anyway. But it was good that you got to stick your head in and say hello. But yes, I'm famished. I'm going to kill the live stream. Please, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Hit the like button on the video afterward. I need all the support that I can get. And it really does help the channel to grow if you do that. Hit the like button if you will. Also, if you have a mind to, support me on Patreon. And you'll find the information on supporting me on Patreon or directly from my website right under all my videos. It would be of the greatest help. And I have so many irons in the fire trying to bring it all up, trying to make it all blossom and flourish, getting more viewers and so forth, you know, more people to share the information with and so forth. Alright, so, okay, take care of yourself, and I love you guys. It was good to be able to see you. Alright, bye-bye.